It's been 3 weeks since our last board meeting, and I'd like to begin my report with an update on district events and some other important matters since our last board meeting 3 weeks ago. At the middle school, we had both an art show and a band night. Middle school students' art was on display at the library on Romer, the Mount Pleasant Library, prior to the break. I had an opportunity to walk down there. I intruded on a crocheting organization and just had a great opportunity to look at the students' artwork. It was creative, it was inspiring, it was complicated, it was thoughtful. And so we really have some very talented artists in our middle school, and I know the other schools as well. But it was really nice to see their artwork on display in the library. Mr. Verchese and the 7th and 8th grade band and the jazz band, they put on a wonderful show at the middle school for their families, and then they ended with a potluck of desserts for all the students and families to enjoy in the multipurpose room. So 2 great things for our middle school. Our high school had their advanced course offerings night. The team provided an overview of advanced course offerings at the high school and emphasized self-care and having a balanced course load. So while, again, we talk about individual opportunities, we talk about our academic programs, and while we offer a lot, that it's really important that students remain balanced and always have and make time for self-care. There's going to be an archived video of the event. Mr. Palumbo will send it out in his weekly update this week. The high school also had, before we went on break, a pep rally. So the winter sports teams, the Pioneer Club, and the high school science Olympiad team were all introduced and celebrated for their outstanding team and individual accomplishments. So congratulations to all of the Panthers, and thank them for an outstanding winter season and a lot to accomplish. And we will be celebrating at our board meeting as well, as we always do after every season. So they had fun at their pep rally. During the 3 weeks, we also had an extended day. As you know, that's when all of our teachers stay for an additional 2 hours of professional learning. It was a jam-packed session. During this most recent extended day, members of the high school, they worked on vertical alignment, they worked on oral presentation rubrics, and they analyzed data from midterm exams to inform instruction. The work advanced the building goal around communication and provided teachers with an opportunity to engage with colleagues across disciplines. It's really a beautiful thing when they organize at the high school, and you can have a counselor, a science teacher, an art teacher, a music teacher, all different disciplines sitting and talking about how their instruction can be informed by data, and what it takes a student experience when they go from period to period, which can be very siloed, and you're thinking as a teacher of your second period, 42 minutes, to really looking at it from a student perspective, and just the pedagogical practices and how they can be so specific to the content, but then they can also very easily go across. And the sharing ideas, it's a great thing. I love it when the high school does that piece. The middle school brought in their longtime PD consultant for educational technology, Randy Hall from the Lyric, who shared best practices using Schoology for differentiated instruction, which you know is the middle school's goal. The BRS faculty members met with their grade level teams to analyze and reflect on mid-year data points and plan for instruction accordingly. Again, similar to the high school, a data-informed approach to instruction. In addition, the BRS faculty members worked with Nicole Madison, who is from our technology team, to plan lessons in the Seesaw platform. So really, again, using the technology, using the data to help move our pedagogical practices forward. So it's always a nice opportunity for our teachers to engage in learning during the extended day. There was also a SEPTA meeting that occurred. Dr. Bala and Mr. Brink presented at the meeting along with which Emily and Erin and I attended. The administrators provided an overview of the continuum and answered questions. It was very informative meeting for parents. We covered topics like club options, high school graduation requirements, testing tracks, college options, and a host of other things. It was just really nice and open dialogue about different things that are on people's minds after we talked about the level of the programs and the services that we are planning to offer for next year. I felt like one of the big themes from the meeting that I always try to continue to discuss is all of the parents that had questions. It was great that we had the forum, and it was great that they asked questions, but really to open up the dialogue and to have communication with related service providers, teachers, administrators, etc. If families are thinking about something, they should feel free to email or pick up the phone and be in touch with us about things, and not wait, let's say, until you have either an issue or a concern or a CSE meeting or open house night, and really that it's an open and ongoing dialogue, and that there's a lot of care for the children in this district by the professionals. So anytime families really have anything that they need or want to share, they really open up the dialogue is always so helpful. The district newsletter was delivered to homes, and we did, again, and I know this because a parent communicated out, which was great, we did accidentally leave out some important information in our athletics section. So I'll be highlighting the additional accolades in my Peeville Press this week, so I'll keep you on your toes and waiting. And we'll also fix the electronic version of the newsletter. That is the work in the communications area. One of the things that we did over the break was we just really had an opportunity to celebrate our support staff. During the week off, there were two weekends in a row. The first one was the really, really cold weekend. We had pipes freeze at the middle school that caused flooding. We also had pipes freeze that weekend at the high school that caused flooding. The very next weekend, which was Super Bowl Sunday, on Super Bowl Sunday, we had a leak in the high school. It flooded several classrooms on 3 different levels along with the district office. And our entire team dropped everything that they were doing on Super Bowl Sunday to come to the district to help out. And for me as a district leader, it was just such a glaring signal about how much our support staff really care about making sure that we can conduct the business of education. They treat our school buildings like it is their home. And it's just really such a feeling of gratefulness and appreciation for all that they do. So we decided that we were gonna enjoy some food together. And we had the secretaries, we had the tech team, we had the custodians, we had maintenance, everyone who works when we're on break, and really just so appreciative of all of those those staff members that really just pour their heart and soul into making sure that we can conduct our business of education. And during that break, things were very busy here between our custodians and the maintenance team, along with contractors that we had come in. So in sum, we had the middle school floors being worked on. We had the BRS and the high school, the vision panels. That is the amount of space that you need to be able to look into a classroom. It's a safety issue that was addressed. We had the BRS and the high school vision panels worked on. We also had the auditorium lighting in the high school, a long-term problem that was from, I think, a couple of capital improvement projects ago that was actually finished over this February break. So a couple of days without students and teachers, and this place gets right down to business of a different sort. So we're very thankful for all of those folks who worked in our buildings during the week and for the work that they were able to accomplish during that time. There was a Pleasantville Strong meeting last month, and then they had a follow-up meeting this month. In the interim, we provided them with a list of budgetary requests that they were able to put together. So they finalized their goals for the 23-24 school year and aligned their budget items accordingly. So we're very thankful for their support for our efforts in really making sure that our students, again, have that whole wellness and the educational pieces and components that go alongside with that. Prior to the break, in groups with other board members and superintendents from the area, Jill and we met with, again, a group of people along with Andrea Stewart Cousins, and then Emily and I met with Mary Jane Shimsky, thank you, to discuss priorities in our districts and advocate for areas where we are looking for funding changes, procedural changes, and really was just an opportunity for us to get together along with a group. And really it was a lot of them wanting to know from us where we were in certain positions on different advocacy items and funding sources. So it was a great opportunity, and we're having follow-up with them again. So they've reached out, I think, to do more individual work.
Right, sorry for interrupting. They used to do that in person, which was great because it was superintendents and board members and the legislators meeting in person on that night. But it shifted because of COVID, and they decided to keep it online because more people could attend.
Yeah. I wanted to share that yesterday I had the opportunity I think it really the stars aligned. I know it was a snow day. There was Northwell Health and their CEO has assembled over 50 CEOs from different hospitals together to sign and commit to gun violence prevention. Yesterday, there was a 9-to-1, a streamed gun violence prevention forum that I was able to participate with that Northwell Health hosted. There were really some sage, see how happy our employees are? Just singing in the hallway as we meet. There was, just hours of different panelists talking about different complexities around the topic. So I was hoping to kind of pull my thoughts together on it and really put something together in the next PVL press. I think that there are some points that our community can take away from the piece, and it was really mostly about, maybe not so much when some of our politicians spoke, but for the most part, really a lot about responsible gun ownership and looking at what the research is saying and looking at them, what do we take from that in terms of where are and how are the different ways that we address the issue. So again, I'm still kind of like putting it all together, 5 hours worth of information, just to bring it down to a couple of points that I hope to be able to communicate to the community from there. My last item is hot off the press, as John mentioned. We were changing if we did the presentation last night as it was scheduled, we wouldn't have had our debt service on there. But we have the sale of the bond occur this morning, and this is specifically the $2 million bond for the middle school HVAC project was sold. The net interest rate that we received was 3.48%. So over the 15-year period of the bond, the building aid amount that we will receive is $22,514 more than the combined principal and interest we will pay.
That's so great.
That's awesome.
So essentially, there is no cost to the Pleasantville taxpayers for us to do this incredible upgrade in our HVAC system at the middle school.
That's great.
So really a tremendous effort. I have to thank John so much for his diligence on this. We have had countless conversations over this bond, and we have had sort of like our stomach and our throats waiting for this day for when we were going to actually have have this number and have this interest rate. So it's really a testament to the financial
That's great.
responsibility
Yeah.
and thoughtful planning that happened well before I got here about this middle school HVAC project. So that's really just great news that I wanted to share with you all and with the community about our status of our middle school HVAC project.
That's a great win for the school, a great win for you guys, and how hard you worked, and the meeting with the rating agencies to achieve this, and fulfilling the promise to the voters that when we proposed this and put it on the budget last year, that this was going to, likely have a negligible, if any, effect on the taxpayers, and so have it have no effect on them is great to be able to deliver on that.
I remember really like trying to break it down to a less complex way of understanding the funding sources and then the building aid. So we talked in our budget presentation about the interfund transfer that we did last year, and that we utilized district monies, we utilized the grants, the ESSER grants that we got, and then we still had to borrow this money. So the building aid comes back on the two buckets. It doesn't come back on the grant money, but it comes back on our district investment, and it comes back on the bond. And so it's sort of like a weird concept to think that we're getting aid back,
Right.
we're getting building aid back from the state for doing this project, and that aid that we're getting back, because of the totality of the investment from those two buckets, actually exceeds
Yeah.
the bond. It's kind of like a really, like, it's not like a common concept, I think, that's out there. I remember asking John, like, give me a concrete example. Just give me an example of how this works in another world, so like I can like help people understand that you're getting aid back on an expense. And there's not really a comparable, like common sense sort of practice. So to see this come to fruition is just really exciting. Yeah.
Congratulations and thank you.
Okay.
All right.
I just wanted to end with such good news.
That is good news.
Yeah,
Really
we'll
great
turn
news.
it back to you.